At the beginning of the 20th century, Terry Stafford ran a bicycle shop in Topeka, Kansas. An article in Scientific American intrigued Stafford, and he decided to construct an automobile. Stafford succeeded in building his first automobile in spring of 1900. Old Bill was based on the article description and created great excitement on the streets of Topeka. Stafford drove his car to nearby communities and soon attracted the attention of the brothers Anton and Selman Smith, who operated a factory in Topeka. They hired Stafford as the general manager of the new Smith Automobile Company. In 1902, they began producing the small, lightweight Smith Surrey. The business relocated to a larger, state-of-the-art building with more than 150 employees. Focusing on quality, their motto was, "Build an automobile at the lowest price at which it can be done well. Make it light and strong, and put out an inferior grade." Their new, larger model, the Verocity, was introduced in 1904, following in the later 1906 by the even larger Great Smith. This car was red with black and gold trimmings and featured elegant upholstery. The Great Smith was right-hand drive and could carry 7 passengers, with seatings for 2 in the rear, which could also be folded down or removed. The car featured 3 forward speeds, 1 reverse, and could run 15 miles on a gallon of gas. The right foot operated the multi-use pedal, which could be served as a clutch or a brake. The 60-horsepower engine could reach 60 miles per hour. The 1908 Great Smith was expensive, starting at $2,787, which transfers today as $67,220. In 1907, they produced a special Great Smith for Arthur Capper, editor and publisher of the Topeka Daily Capital. In May of 1908, the brothers entered a Great Smith into the Rocky Mountain Endurance Run near Denver, which Motor Age described as the roughest road ever traveled by any set of cars in any motor car endurance race ever promoted. The Great Smith placed third. In October, a Great Smith entered another promotional event, and they became first automobile to scale Pikes Peak during wintry conditions and using a long-abandoned stagecoach road. The company's advertising claimed the car to be one of a kind. Stafford left the company in 1907 and went to start his own manufacturing firm in Kansas City, which continued to produce until 1915. While the Smith Automobile Company produced luxury cars, competitors offered cars at a much lower price. The Ford Motor Company in 1909 introduced the Model T, using an assembly line construction which sold for $800. Unable to compete, the Smiths sold their last car in 1911. In 1947, just before Selman Smith's death, he donated his personal 1908 Great Smith to the Kansas Historical Society.
On blocks.
Yeah, we're trying to, it's not doing much for the tires at this point, but it's trying to save the tires a little bit. We're going to have to replace them at some point.
And there's only 2 in existence from what I understand in the world. This one, and then the one that was in Rossville, Harold Irwin owns. This is a toolbox, I believe, or a cooler.
There's a cooler on one side. I always forget what it is.
Toolbox.
There's the cooler on that side.
This is the cooler. And you remember when, what's their names are getting in the car in the Titanic? They actually grab the handle and turn it.
Harold Irwin, an antique car collector from Rossville, Kansas, bought the 1910 Great Smith automobile from George Hackery in February of 1973. The car had been in storage for almost 10 years after a windstorm blew the building down on top of the car and smashed it. Hackery's son, Barney Hackery, restored the car. Irwin drove down to Texas to make the purchase and then brought it back to Kansas.